That was that they struggled and they had to be rescued. So the top order needs to stand up, particularly the openers. Beautifully done. There will be the first boundary of the semi-finals. Incredible looking shot into his arc and did not miss a heartbeat to play that one. Well, that's his strength. Loves to drive through extra cover, loves to play square of the wicket. Again, you could see that he's not someone who has a great stride. Prefers to bat outside the crease. Nicely done. It'll make him feel good and comfortable. That boundary coming off the middle of the bat. Already got with one ball to go.
No! Looks extremely compact. End of the overs. First over gone, 7 for none.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Second new ball from the pavilion end. Second semi-final at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. India take on Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka have been unbeaten in this tourney so far. India started off with a little jitter against Pakistan. After that, showed their dominance against Japan and a flamboyance against UAE to make it to the semi-finals. 4 wickets for Chetan Sharma. An economy of 2.56. His best bowling figures, Chetan Sharma, came against Japan, picked up 2 wickets for 14 runs.
Yeah, it's a new look Indian opening attack. Samath used to be the one that India preferred to in those first few games. Against Pakistan, he was good. And even against Japan, but one felt that his length was the area he needed to improve. And you could see that the plan of the Indian seam bowlers, they haven't bowled anything that's back of a length. So far, everything have been full at the stumps.
Bowling with intent, we've seen some movement that can be made available due to the weather conditions. Due slight cool breeze, not as breezy as some of the previous days today. That's why ideal to bowl full 2 slips in support for Chetan Sharma.
Talking about the breeze, it's beautiful weather. Tell you the temperatures are lovely. It is turning out to be absolutely gorgeous. The days, the sun is out and lovely temperature. And as it goes into the day and towards the evening, it tends to get a little bit chilly and nippy. But still, very, very manageable.
A few good months that the people of UAE get to enjoy. It just becomes extremely gorgeous. No clouds today, but this beautiful setup is just iconic for a game of this magnitude, the semi-final. 4 dot balls so far. Chetan has kept it nice and full, outside off. And we saw this in the first over as well. The first couple of deliveries, they played it nice and behind the line. They understand that there could be some skid off the deck as well.
Like the approach of the Sri Lankan openers, particularly this man on the screen, Dulnich Sigera. He's far more circumspect. not looking to take the bowling on, but instead very watchful. Now the second slip goes out, and that's quite obvious. Lack of bounce, haven't really seen enough movement. Wide slip though. Again, it's a very strong offside cordon, and the line is so close to the off stump. Doesn't give him the space he's looking for.
He took the ball slightly further away from the off stump line on the previous occasion with that extra support that he's got. And that probably would be a ploy to try and make him play aerial. Looking to purchase the wicket here. Very solid, this Sri Lankan opening pair. Last ball of the over. Straight to the fielder. Good looking shot to finish the over. It's a maiden over. 2 gone, 7 for none.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
राजेश
अरे आई हैव टू लीव बैंक में एक छोटा सा काम है
अरे भाई साहब आजकल छोटे छोटे काम के लिए बैंक कौन जाता है
मैं यू हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम
भाई मुझे नहीं आपको बार बार बैंक जाना पड़ता है ना अब हम जहाँ बैंक वहाँ IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक होगा
तो मोर मिलेगा
Notes slightly expensive for his own liking. Oh, beautiful. That ball moved just a wee bit away from the middle, asking the right questions.
Yeah, nice angle, isn't it? Started around middle, maybe midland leg, and then went away. Look at the feet. Went nowhere. He's batting outside the crease. But that's what happens with Pulindu Pereira. He's not one of those batters who like that stride, but instead just tends to play a little bit from the crease, but batting outside the crease.
Towards the third man. You're a little tentative. You don't mind taking those singles and moving across. 8 for none in 2.2. Two slips for Chetan and 2 slips for Yudhajit. The second slip was removed for Chetan. Yudhajit persisting with those 2.
Plenty of noise around the stumps and behind the stumps. Don't think the Sri Lankans understand anything because it's in the local language and Hindi. But all they know is that there is a lot of sound. Very wide slip. Now that second slip goes away. And with Sigera on strike, it's a more tight and a stronger offside field. Oh, he had a little bit of a feeling towards that. That's a good line.
Well, yeah, the wicket-keeper in special, the way he's talking consistently every single ball. Harvansh Singh. They removed the second slip in the 4th delivery of the previous over. Similar ploy over here.
See, there's a lot of discipline about the Indian bowling. If you look at the lengths they have bowled, they've been very, very consistent with that length. Just gone full, bowl wicket to wicket, nothing short, and no real width as well. So it's an obvious plan to try and dry out runs, because they do know that both these openers like to go after the bowling. They like to score runs quickly. So obvious strategy, you could see, because plenty of work is done behind the scene.
aerially played. Oh, there's a chance of a run out, and there will be, as they call in tennis, an unforced error. A brain fade moment. The non-striker stood there watching what was happening, and a run out has happened.
Well, I don't believe it. Just unnecessary from a Sri Lankan point of view. The pressure was building. And look at what happens here. Segera goes with the shot, runs with it, but Pulindu doesn't move. He's just a few feet outside the crease. Becomes pretty easy. This is what pressure does. This is what dot balls does. And he's disappointed, and why not? That's not a good way to get out in an important game. So Pulindu Pereira goes. He made 6 and Sri Lanka 8 for 1.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
अरे I have to leave बैंक में एक छोटा सा काम है
अरे भाई साहब आजकल छोटे छोटे काम के लिए बैंक कौन जाता है
मैं यू हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम
मुझे नहीं आपको बार बार बैंक जाना पड़ता है ना अब हम जहाँ बैंक वहाँ
IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक होगा तो मोर मिलेगा.
It always was a striker's call. But pressure, that's it. The real culprit there. Three overs, 8 and 1 wicket down already. The pressure of the semi-finals. This is what happened.
See, what you need to keep an eye on, if possible, is the non-striker. There is no movement at all from him. Yes, it's the call of the striker. Segera, he was running with the shot and didn't look like there was a possible single. But what was disappointing was Pulindu Pereira hardly responded. He just stood there. Didn't seem to have much communication. Again, he's running with the shot. He's focused on that fielder. I haven't heard anything from the non-striker. Unfortunate, but India capitalizing on the opportunity.
It would be playing in his mind. Got his partner out, Segera. So that little murmur in the back of the mind subconsciously would be running and to make good. Oh, inviting him into play on the front. Beautiful delivery there, Chetan Sharma. Bowled a maiden over, the first one. Even now, 2 dot balls. Started with 2 slips. It'll be interesting to see if second slip is removed after at about the halfway mark.
I'm not sure they should do that because there is pressure building. Chetan Sharma, since he came into the side, has looked very impressive for India. I believe the slip should be retained because dot ball's been bowled by him. Oh, throw him! Brilliant! The previous one went the other way. This one came back. And the 2 openers of Sri Lanka once again failed to do anything substantial. Sri Lanka are now 8 for 2.
He can't believe it. And rightly so. That delivery jagged in really sharp. We'll have a look at that. Beautiful inward movement. Maybe got a faint inside edge as well that dragged the ball onto the stumps. Dulnath Segera gone 2 of 16. Sri Lanka down with the second wicket. And that little concern that everyone was talking about with the Indian bowling not picking up early wickets. Dinsara comes in, 156 to his credit, a century, and that came in the previous game. Momentum by his side. Sri Lanka have fallen in this concerning trap. Onto the boot, big shout and given. The centurion of the previous game is gone on a golden duck. Chetan Sharma on fire, and now will be on a hat-trick.
Brilliant bowling, absolutely brilliant bowling. Went full and went at the leg stump, middle and leg stumps. And Dinsara had a slight shuffle. Yeah, just slight shuffle. He was dead. Right in front. Had to be an inside edge to save him. But not to be. The umpire thinks he's gone. Vimat Dinsara out without scoring, and Sri Lanka.
And a 50 to his credit. Meanwhile, he's going to be facing the hat-trick ball, and we all know the name Chetan Sharma is synonymous with hat-tricks. So can he live up to that expectation? Chetan Sharma on a hat-trick at the iconic Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Oh, and it's a no ball. Does the hat-trick continue?
What an anticlimax. It's a no ball. Just back of a length from round the wicket. Obviously looking to try and go fuller. And a no ball as well. And Sri Lanka gets a reprieve. They get a free hit. Well, they've been tied down so much. 14 dots into the fourth over. That's a no ball. There's really nothing behind the line. So that's a good call by the umpire.
Aerially played, what a response. It's an extremely confident shot there. Awaz Singh, he says, you've been picking wickets, I can pick boundaries.
See, this is what he likes to do. Actually, I thought he'll enjoy this free hit because he's a player who likes to play his shots. Pace off that time, I thought. Look to bowl that delivery into the pitch. Just over the line for 6. Lakhvin Abesinghe is someone who likes to get on with it. So that's going to be the challenge here. He'll have to kind of make the adjustment considering Sri Lanka are 15 for 3.
Dot ball to get the over done. A successful over. 2 wickets in this. 4 gone. 15 for 3.
जब सेविंग्स अकाउंट पे हर महीने इंटरेस्ट मिले तो इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें कर लेनी चाहिए।
हर महीने इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता, वो तो 3 महीने में एक ही बार मिलता है।
अरे भाई साहब, मिलता था आपके ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट जमाने में। हमारा बैंक तो हर महीने देता है। IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक में अकाउंट होगा
तो और मिलेगा।
Mind you, it was Sri Lanka that won the toss, elected to bat first on the surface. And the Indian bowlers have exploited the conditions. Yes, the first one was a run out, but after that, 2 peach deliveries to get done with. Wicket number 2 and 3. Yudhajit will continue. Two left-handed batters. are there because of these two wickets. First one jagging back in sharp. The next, a beautiful Yorker. On the money on both occasions. Chetan Sharma was on a hat-trick. And then bowled no ball.
Really don't think that the conditions mattered in those two dismissals. The LBW was straight, missed it. That was a good first delivery to the right-hander. And even the one that got through Sigera was a nice angle. Just a little back into the right-hander, went off the inside edge. Thought he played a little bit away from his body. And then that run out, the first wicket, that was unnecessary. So you got to be really blaming yourself. Maybe then Sara might consider himself unlucky because still no excuse, but it was a very good first delivery. Right on target.
They'll have to get into this rebuilding phase, these two. Shanmuganathan got a century. So you need to draw inspiration from that knock. Keep talking with your partner and try and build a platform. 50-over games always give you an opportunity to rebuild, unlike the 20 overs or 10 overs, where you just come in, slam bang.
Yeah, there is time, always there is time on your side, so Sri Lanka need to utilize this time into the 5th over. It's a big phase that they need to negotiate. Yeah, it's more about a rebuilding thing, as you said. Need to negotiate. Need to just cut out the frills. And just get through maybe 15 overs. If this pair could get together and stay there for 15 overs, there might be some semblance of solidity for Sri Lanka, who will look to then maybe change gears, look at a different plan, but very important that this pair of batters survive that long.
And try and bring some calm. It would be a little nervy for these youngsters to come in the center. Also, the occasion at times does get better of you and your skills. But maybe this is the time where you try and bring in every single learning that you've got all through. The Indian coaching staff there, some legends of the game. Played long enough to know and to teach. Dot ball to end the over. 5 gone, 16 for 3.
मेरा बैंक जो है ना वो जीरो चार्ज करता है। जीरो चार्जेस? ये तो हम सबको नहीं मिलता है। नहीं मिलते थे ब्रो, डिस्को के जमाने में। पर मेरा बैंक जो है ना सारे सेविंग्स अकाउंट सर्विसेज पर जीरो चार्ज करता है। IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक में अकाउंट होगा तो मोर मिलेगा। ये किधर से मारा तूने? आपकी अलमारी से।
वो दरवाजा जिसके पीछे है अपॉर्चुनिटीज का खजाना। केबीसी प्ले अलोंग खेलिए और इस फेस्टिव सीजन पहली बार पाइए एक मेगा ऑफर। रेमंड फैब्रिक्स और अपैरल्स पर 20% तक का डिस्काउंट, जो आप कर सकते हैं क्लेम किसी भी द रेमंड शॉप पर। खेलते रहिए केबीसी प्ले अलोंग।
It's a 5-setter.
Well, if this is the first set, India have won it confidently. Got their first donut already.
Runs. This is the game Shanmuganathan would want to play. He's not a basher as such. He's more of an accumulator, and this is perfect for him, this scenario. And I'll be very interested to see Lakvin Abeysingh's approach, because we've seen him to be naturally aggressive. But so far, he's used up 6 deliveries, including that 6, and been very, very focused. That's what Sri Lanka need from this pair. 2 slips for the left-hander.
This time on to the offside. Chetan realizing that the previous occasion when he bowled it slightly close to the body of Lakvin, he was able to play it very comfortably on the onside. Plus he also comes in from around the wicket as compared to Yudhajit, who prefers coming in over the wicket. One slip in position as there is a backward point and a squarish deep third. Had to keep it wide outside off.
Yeah, lack of bounce though. You spoke about the two bowlers. I thought, well, you could see that's wide again. His eyes lit up, looking to go through extra cover. Just a little bit away from the left-hander. Yudhajit has settled into a nice line and length from over the wicket, looking to bowl middle stump or off stump and taking it away from the left-hander. He's looked dangerous, going past the outside edge. Chetan Sharma, on the other hand, has bowled a different length, but still he's bowled slightly back of a length as well, but generally bowled outside the off stump to the left-handers, inviting the drive. But again, you could see that typical Sharjah surface where we don't see a lot of bounce. You really got to hit it into the deck. That delivery was an effort ball. Got it up to about little over waist.
Adjustment is the key. You need to adjust your abilities, your skills, your plans based on the surface. This time slightly fuller. And the quicker you are able to adjust to what is on offer, I reckon that's where the win comes in.
Yeah, you could hear the grunt of Chetan Sharma, real effort. But again, these two Indian bowlers should be given full marks for the lengths and lines they have bowled. Well, if you compare the experiences of both teams, I do know that the Indian team has a little bit more experience than their Sri Lankan counterparts. Shahrukh, of course, have played 3 first-class games. Excellent over at the batter. 6 done, 20 for 3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Chetan, in fact, did bowl a maiden over as well, picking up 2 wickets, has been the pick. But Yudhajit, impeccable line and length. Getting the ball to angle away from the left-hander. What would be the right lines to bowl when you're trying to angle the ball away from the left-handed?
Yeah, looking to bowl wicket to wicket. That seems to be the plan of Yudhajit. Very impressive. And he's got the ball to move and has been challenging the outside edge more than the inside edge of the left-handers. Just a slip, but a very wide gully kind of backward point.
He's keeping his line very, very precise. And you as well need to be in line to download the ACC app right now. The iOS and Android QR codes on your screen. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's Asian Cricket Council TV, to watch our content live and on the gram. It's Asian Cricket Council.
It's been a brilliant tournament. We've spoken about it, we have congratulated and patted ACC on the back with regards to the exposure the emerging teams have had, and also some of the better known bigger teams, the full members like India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. It's been magnificent in terms of what these young men have got as an exposure, the platform, and also what about teams, of course, let's not forget Afghanistan. And what about teams like the UAE, emerging, Japan? What a big moment for them.
close was that? How close was that?
What's happened to the stumps though? Forgot Nepal. Well, that's another name that is coming up with some real talent. We've seen how Nepal beat Afghanistan, which is a great moment in their cricket. Will go down in, I would say, in red letters as far as their cricketing history. Overcoming a full member at under 19 level. That's how they announce themselves. And all because they've been given the platform.
And mind you, that platform, not just about playing the games, but also being seen around the world. So many nations, so many eyeballs, millions of people watching you. An incredible opportunity to showcase your talent to the world.
I love what the wicket keeper's saying. He's just saying, table toppers, boys. Table toppers. See the funny side of it.
Oh, beautiful last delivery. End of the 7th. 20 for 3 Sri Lanka after winning the toss.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
Start their campaign well in this ACC Men's Under-19 Asia Cup 2024. They started off with a loss but then came back strong to win the next 2 matches to qualify for the semi-finals. Well bowled, well bowled. He's hitting good lengths here, Chetan Sharma. A couple of wickets to his name, was on a hat-trick. Not once but twice in this tournament he's been on a hat-trick, hasn't been able to complete that. This young lad who plays for the Rajasthan Under-19s as well, apart from playing for the India Under-19s here. I was talking about table toppers, and just a little while ago in the previous stint when Roshan was commentating with Neil, they talked about another thing. But first let's talk about this wicket. Got the opener. I think that run out was playing on his mind as he was cleaned up. Then the first ball itself, Dinsara out leg before. A little while ago, Roshan was talking about how the wicketkeeper, Harvansh, was just quietly letting the batsman know. Table toppers, boys. Just a little banter as he walked back to keep wickets. I'm Raman Donot. I'm joined by Farviz Maroof in the commentary box. Farviz, is it a common grooming school for keepers, that little, or you know, that little banter that young boys pick up very early, trying to needle the batsman who's out there in the middle?
Cheeky fellas, the wicket keepers are usually likes a chat just to make the concentration level go down on the batsman. Most of the time they do be success.
Oh, this was tough for the batsman, tougher for the wicket keeper. That's gone down as 5 wides. Oh, Chetan just erring in line, making life hard for the wicketkeeper. We were just talking about him. Harvansh, his father, we saw a glimpse of him in the stands a little while ago. He's come to follow his son's efforts on the field.
Trying a little too hard, Chetan Sharma. I thought the first 3 overs or so he was bowling very quick, put lots of effort, but looking at how he following through, I just feel he's losing his radar because trying a little too hard. Sometimes in a pitch like this, after 3 or 4 overs, a ball tend to lose the swing and the seam movement. That's where the control has to come. Yes, it's important to bowl your heart out, but maybe sometimes it can be your downfall, especially when you have the fine leg towards square leg. Is very, very square, absolutely no fine leg. And coming round the wicket, you create that angle to the left-hander. So you've got to be a little careful, but total full marks for the young man, Chetan Sharma. He has been magnificent, bamboozling the batsman, with some wonderful deliveries.
Just one slip in position now. He switched to round the wicket with the left-handers out there in the middle in the hope of cramping them for room. But he looked very effective to the right-handers, especially bowling over the wicket. But there was a moment right in his very first over where the umpire actually walked down the pitch and marked where he was following through on his run-up. And remember, a couple of matches ago, he did get a warning from the umpire once. So that's something that he'll have to be careful when he bowls over the wicket. Right now he's bowling round the wicket.
In the previous game against UAE, he had issues coming round the wicket. He's fine because he's going wide of the crease. Naturally, he has to stay away from that business end of the pitch. Nice strong right up. I'll take a look at that follow through. Impressive for a 19-year-old.
You know, when he's bowling round the wicket, it's not a problem, you know, running onto the danger area, because he tends to move away very comfortably, away from the danger area, while he's bowling from this angle round the wicket. End of the over. Barring that wide, it was pretty economical. 25 for 3 Sri Lanka.
जहां भी जाओगे पर जब लौट के आओगे सुकून जिंदगी का इसी दरवाजे पर पाओगे। हम हैं गोदरेज लॉक्स, घर के अंदर या बाहर रहो बेफिक्र। गोदरेज लॉक्स।
मखमली इतनी कि हथेली में समा जाए और रोटियां इतनी नरम कि दिल खुश हो जाए। इसलिए तो आशीर्वाद सिलेक्ट को कहते हैं गेहूं का सरताज।
तुझे ऐसे कभी इमेजिन नहीं किया रे?
मैंने भी। आप कब बन रहे हैं मान्यवर?
Losing the openers chiefly first to a run out, and then I think Segura had that run out playing in his mind when he was batting. Ended up paying the price with his wicket, and Dinsara got a beauty first up, out leg before. The two pacers continuing. We're in the power play. Remember, this is the 9th over. Another over to go after this for the power play. And I think the Indian captain, now that he's played the extra spinner today in place of Samarth Nagaraj, would want a little extra from his faster bowlers, and I think they've delivered today.
All praises and all eyes are on Chetan Sharma since he picked up a couple of wickets. He's done really well. Broken the backbone of Sri Lanka top order. But take a look at Yudhajit Guha's contribution so far. 4.1 overs, just 10 runs given away. Just like batting, even bowling needs partnership. One bowler keeps it tight, bowls good line and length, and you get the other and you unleash them in Chetan Sharma. Bit of notes given for the game by Rishikesh Kanitkar.
Or maybe he's just checking his bowling options there, the captain, Mohammad Aman. I think the spinner's going to come on soon enough. The off spinner, because of the left-handers out there. Oh, leaves the batter, beats the outside edge. I wouldn't be surprised if very soon, the moment the power play ends, we see Kiran Chormale being pressed into the attack.
Yeah, good length. Kept a bit low. I thought overall, Yudhajit Guha, every time I've seen him, looks very impressive. Ball within himself. Good lines, good lengths, very consistent, very repeatable action. Very good.
That's a good ball. He goes pretty wide of the crease to create the angle for the left-hander. Even if you look at that previous delivery that he's bowled, of course, Nikhil's another medium pace bowling option that India can look at. But let's talk about Yudhajit for a moment. And how he goes wide of the crease to create the angle for the left-hander.
Now, if the ball is stopped swinging and seaming, you got to use the angles properly. And Yudhajit Guha, with that action, he just goes away from the fielder, go wide of the crease and angle it across. But the most important part is about the length. That's a good shot. Good feeling at short extra cover. But this is the pressure that Sri Lanka is trying to break free. But the Indian fielding, bowling has been top-notch this morning.
Super effort by Andre Siddharth there, standing in the covers. It's never easy when the ball's coming at you low and you have to dive on a pitch on the square. Remember, where he's standing, he's actually standing on the square, where the surface is pretty hard. Take another look at it from this angle. Now he's had to dive on that adjacent pitch, roll over to make sure he doesn't get injured, and also stop the ball. Another single. Shanmuganathan's been the batter in form for Sri Lanka. A half century and then a big 100 for the left-hander.
Hey, he loves batting in Sharjah. Missed out in the game against Bangladesh at the Dubai Stadium. On the other hand, Lakhvin Abhay-Singh has had a stop-start Asia Cup so far. And Sri Lanka will be hoping that he comes good, because if he stays there, he's someone can take the game into the Sri Lankan side, beg your pardon, Indian side.
I wonder if it's both the Sri Lankan batters, they've had their laces undone. I think Abhay-Singh is getting his laces tied again. Earlier, Hardik Raj was doing the honours, and now the slip fielder Ayush Mhatre steps forward, helping Abhay-Singh out. As a batter, would you trust the opposition to tie your shoelaces, Maha? I'll come to that in a moment. That single will end the over. 9 gone. It's 28 on the scoreboard.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Change affected Chetan Sharma, making way for Kiran Chormale. That's the change that India have made in their playing 11 today. Kiran Chormale didn't play the previous match, previous couple of games, in fact, where India went in with 3 pacers. Played the first match against Pakistan, picked up a wicket in that game. Now drafted into the side today in place of Samarth Nagraj. And one of the big reasons that India have gone in with an extra off spinner is because of the number of left-handers in this Sri Lankan lineup.
The first game Kiran Chormale played at the Dubai Stadium hardly offers any help for the spinners. The fast bowlers have been controlling things, and they took the right decision by bringing Chetan Sharma. Probably could have been a better option playing Chetan Sharma in the first game, looking at the pitch, how it behaves. But this is a master stroke. They're getting him in batting. He can bat at number 8. He's a hard hitter, and he's an off spinner. As you said, plenty of spin. The left-handers in the middle overs, he'll just enjoy bowling in this surface. So that is where India have been very smart in leaving away the fast bowler and playing the off spinner.
Last over of the power play, remember. After this, you'll have the option of having 4 outside the 30-yard circle. Right now, it's only 2. They've got deep mid-wicket at long off back.
We're talking about doing your homework right. Again, Aman has got deep square leg in front of square towards mid-wicket and leaving behind deep square totally, because Lakhvin Abhay-Singh prefers to go the slog sweep toward mid-wicket and hardly plays a conventional sweep. That's why the square leg field is vacant. Excellent captaincy by the Indian skipper. Power play done, 28 for 3.
signaling that the power play is done. The first 10 overs done. Let's take a look at the highlights of the power play. There was a beautiful strike through the covers for 4, and this was the run out.
Since then, Chetan Sharma, first ball it was Sigera, and then the right next delivery is the Centurion from the last game. LBW plumb in front. It's been an excellent morning so far for India. They are dominating today.
Yes, they had luck favor them with that run out, but then 2 great deliveries to follow things up by Chetan Sharma, accounting for Sigera and then Dinsara. Bowling change from the other end as well. At the academy end, we see Nikhil Kumar come in. He's another seam bowling option, seam up bowling options, a medium pacer. Doesn't have express pace, but pretty much relies a lot on line and length. Hits the right areas. It's difficult to get away once he settles into a rhythm. Not easy to score runs off.
Now, Sri Lanka will enjoy this change. The pressure that Chetan and Yugadit created was far more superior than a seam-up delivery bowler who just bowls line and length. And knowing Lakvin Abhay, he likes to use a long handle. The situation is not that great at the moment for reuse it, but since the field is inside with mid-on, mid-offs, mid-wicket, everybody, Lakvin Abhay, don't be surprised if he try to be aggressive and try and reverse the pressure back to India.
The wicket-keeper standing up to the stumps. Arvansh is standing up to the stumps, keeping that in mind. Now that's the story. You talked about how Abhay Singh might want to go over the top. I think there's an invitation being given to the batsman. With mid-on and mid-off both up inside the 30-yard circle. Remember, this is over number 11. So you can have 4 outside the circle at the boundary. But they haven't taken mid-on and mid-off back. They've kept them in. They've kept the keeper up. And said, all right, you want to go? Maybe there's a stumping chance.
The big question is he brave enough to do it? Probably not the first over, but he won't be quiet for a very long time. Naturally very aggressive, likes to feel bat on the ball, likes to go aerial, and his favorite area is long on mid-wicket, and it's vacant. But just that need a little time in the middle. The situation is not the greatest, as I said. But sometimes when you're playing against big teams in a big game, you've got to take a little bit of risk and hope that it'll work towards you.
Deliberately bowled that wide outside the off stump. A little too far wide. Was given one. But remember, he's got those fielders inside the 30-yard circle on the leg side. 2 of them at mid-on and mid-wicket. And then there's the third fielder who's out of the boundary at long leg. So only 3 on the leg side. And they've got 6 on the off. And that's the reason why you'll find Nikhil Kumar's line is going to be consistently around the middle off stump or outside off. And that's why he's got protection at wideish third and back at the boundary rope at deep point as well. Just for that ball that's going to be further away from the stumps. Because when he's going to stray on the pads, then there's the risk of this. They've got one, the batsman slips, the fielder slips, but in the end, they settle for a single.
This ball was delivered. Pidon was dropped back to long on. I think this is where the Indian side would have done their homework against Lakvin Abhay Singh at the strengths and weaknesses, playing with his mind, playing with his ego.
Not so for Shan Mugunathan now. Tidy over, just 3 from it. 11 gone. It's 31 for 3.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Sharma, his second over of the spell, the 4th of the innings. Now they need to rebuild from here on. Sri Lanka, it's a 50 over game, remember, Lots of time still left in the match. 39 overs still to come from here. Charmale to continue.
This is the best time for India to squeeze in some dot deliveries. Create that pressure by not giving anything away. At the moment, it's a medium pacer from the opposite end, Nikhil, and Kiran from the media box in. Yes. They another have option of the off spinner, Ayush Matre. Two left-handers in the field. I won't be surprised as soon as Nikhil finishes his spell. Ayush Matre can come into the attack and have the left-arm spinner Hardik Raj and Kartikeya KP bowling later on to the right-handers to follow, since Gamage is yet to come next, and even the skipper Vihas Theumika. So this is where cat and mouse game will start, and Indians will have done their homework, I'm sure. And it's going to take a little braveness from Sri Lankan side to come out of this rot, as I see.
A little bit more air given in that previous delivery, but not much from Abhay Singh on this occasion. 47 dot deliveries. So you're looking at almost 8 overs having gone by, and a boundary has not been struck by the Sri Lankan batters. Nothing off the bat. That's well stopped. 5 wides all right, but no boundary off the bat. Now in 48 deliveries. That's exactly 8 overs. That's another tidy over. A maiden coming through from Charmale. He's bowled 2 maidens on the trot. It's 31 for 3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Running with the stroke. It's good batting by Shanmuganathan. I reckon the simple game plan, if I was the coach, I would have sent the message to Shahrukh and Shanmuganathan. Play the ball on its merit. Don't bother about the scoreboard at all. Just try and bat the 50 overs and try and get 225, 250 is a bit of a pass score, but I like even 225. There's something to bowl at. And Lakwin Abhay Singh, as I said, is a naturally aggressive player. If he can get himself in, have a bit of braveness, probably a bit later on, that will be the message I would have sent back to him, because there's no point hanging around. That's not his game. Sometimes a teenager got to play his natural game. According to the situation, you have to tinker it. But that's the confidence I will probably send from the dugout to the middle and make sure these two batters at least get on to about the 30th over. Take a risk, but make sure it's a calculated risk.
Drives it straight to Mohammad Aman. He wanted the single. Sent back, and rightly so. Mohammad Aman is one of the better fielders, the captain of the side, standing at mid-on. You know, the one thing I'm a little skeptical about, although Aman's a great fielder, look at that, quickly on the ball, a quick pick up and throw. He's not the tallest fielder, and he's standing at mid-on. In case Abhay Singh wants to take the aerial route, I'd prefer to have a slightly taller fielder at mid-on as compared to the captain himself, purely because you're keeping the fielder up inside the 30-yard circle. So at times you may want a slightly taller fielder in that region.
In that case, probably Aman better off feeling the slips. Lakwin Abhay Singh, when he hits it, it stays it. He's someone who can easily clear long on, mid-wicket. But I understand your point. It's a little percentages. But I feel sometimes the captain is quite happy and confident when they're mid-on and mid-off talking to the bowler. During the over, just making sure the plans are in place, any changes to be done. You're there to let the bowler know. So, fine line. And sometimes the feel as well, confident playing in one place. And that's what I'm guessing Aman is doing.
Hassle. But you know, when you're bowling with a 6-3 field, a lot of times it's just those percentages. But keeping that in mind, you look at other fielders taking a start. Mohammad Aman, he actually stays at the edge of the circle. At best, just makes a stride of 1 or 2 paces only. Changing the field now. They're dropping another fielder back at fine leg. Well fielded at mid-wicket. No runs there. It's a tidy over. Just 1 run from it. 13 gone. It's 32 for 3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Singh. 3 back in the hut already for Sri Lanka in the semi-final. Well fielded. That's great effort. Good commitment as well. Diving to his right, preventing what could have been a chance of another run. So that's a great effort. Karthikeya KP it was.
Kiran won't mind that. Playing against a turn, he has kept the mid-wicket open, asking the batter to play against the turn, try and turn one delivery to get the top edge or the outside edge. If it's a top edge, caught and bowl, a short extra cover catch is a possibility. If it turns big, slip in place, Ayush Matre in place. Very well set, very well thought field sitting at the moment.
Oh, well fielded. Karthikeya. Well done. He's a tall lad. Got across quickly. A couple of deliveries ago, the single that was taken is the first run that's been scored of Kiran Chormale's bowling. He's bowled 2 maiden overs prior to this, the off spinner. He's into his 3rd. Oh, beats the outside edge. Yeah. But I think this is going to be a contest. Abhay Singh likes to play shots, Parvez, and I think Kiran Chormale might fancy that.
This will create a lot of doubt on the left-hander's mind now. All this time, it was gun barrel straight, skidding onto the bat, and all of a sudden, going one past the outside edge. Most of the time, the youngsters, they'll think, okay, now I cannot play the flick shot towards mid-wicket for a single. That's the doubt most of the time will be the downfall. And just to let you know how well India have bowled, the last boundary has hit 60 deliveries before, and we are just into 13.5 overs. Shows the domination of the bowling so far.
And only 1 6 and 1 4. So just 2 hits to the fence or over in the 13.5 overs. Turn. And it stayed a little low as well. End of the over. 14 gone. 34 for 3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Semi-final of the men's under-19 Asia Cup. Nikhil has bowled extremely well. 2 overs, just 4 runs.
This is wrong, yeah. No? This is wrong. All the 3 wickets didn't fall for 8 runs. Yeah? ये गलत है.
थोड़ा ऐसे सही रही हो. क्योंकि वो रन आउट हुआ उसके बाद में इस तरफ आया. उधर कट कर लेना एंगल.
मेरे ख्याल से.
कमली हार्दिक. गया.
Runs coming in, but they're coming in form of singles. No boundaries since forever. 63 deliveries since the last boundary, and some fantastic effort in the field. Joining me in the comm box, Atul Vasan.
Good morning, Neil. And you're right. And 63 deliveries since last boundary. But the other glaring stat is that 64 dot balls already. You can imagine high quota of dot balls, especially with the power plays in operation. You would feel that. But yeah, what can you do when you've lost 3 wickets? And all the 3 wickets fell on unlucky 8 for Sri Lanka. It's considered the luckiest number in China because it's a sign of infinity. It's been an infinity since we have scored or seen a boundary yet.
This time trying to look for the boundary. We've been talking since forever, and finally the jinx has been broken and a boundary comes in.
Finally. You should start talking about something else, whatever you wish for. The whole universe is conspiring and manifesting it for us.
You mentioned about the lucky number 8.
Well, the partnership is 32 already, so I think this is a good bit. So that's what these youngsters need to learn, that whenever the chips are down, just got to build partnership. Cricket is all about partnerships. Whether it's 2 bowlers bowling in tandem, it makes such a huge difference if the pressure is kept from both ends. That's why hence the Dennis Lillee and Jeff Thompson, Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus, and many. I can give examples. And partnership in the middle as well. Batting wise, look at those scuff marks here. And yes, because there is hardly any grass. If the pitch is bereft of grass, this is what happens with the spikes. And then there was a lot of moisture in the morning as well. So it was damp surface, a bit clammy. You can see this is less sheen today. It's a bit abrasive kind of a surface, and you can see that. And Chetan, especially, was warned last game, is the kind of action where he tends to just keep running in a straight line rather than moving away from the pitch. End of the over, it's 40-3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
जब सेविंग्स अकाउंट पे हर महीने इंटरेस्ट मिले तो इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें कर लेनी चाहिए.
हर महीने इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता, वो तो 3 महीने में एक ही बार मिलता है.
अरे भाई साहब, मिलता था आपके ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट जमाने में. हमारा बैंक तो हर महीने देता है. IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक में अकाउंट होगा तो और मिलेगा.
These batters, what is extremely important is that since they lost their 3rd wicket on 8, they haven't lost anything since.
The big wicket to fall, and what a shocker it was. Pulindu was the first one to go. Run out that was. So suddenly the pressure came on, and then Chetan Sharma's double strike put them in deep, deep trouble. 8 for 3 they were. Now they're slowly clawing their way out of that abyss. Chormale playing today because India opting to go with 1 less seamer and reading the conditions well, I think. They also wanted to bat first.
You're talking about the foot marks of the fast bowlers. Chormale trying to extract that little extra advantage from those scruffy marks.
Too early for that, my friend. Too early for that.
Fantastic piece of fielding on his own bowling. Ran across all the way, a few yards, putting in a dive.
Hardik Raj still to come and bowl, and these scuff marks again I'm showing you. It's more cosmetic in nature rather than coming into play right now, because they're not that deep enough for the ball to grip, and as it is, the ball is pretty new. It's only 15 overs and we use 2 new balls, so you can imagine only 7 overs with a new ball, hardly going to make difference, and it's just going to skid through. Maybe in the second half these will come into play, and that is something India is keeping an eye on. And the skipper Mohammad Aman said that he would have chosen to bat first also if they would have won the toss, because they would have, you can see in the 11 they decided to go with 1 less seamer with getting the extra spinner in, and the hope was that to put up a total on board. And now the job in hand is to restrict Sri Lanka as low as possible. 16 gone. It is 43 for 3.
मेरी आवाज में मिठास मत ढूंढिए। मिठास का असली मजा शरबती गेहूं की रोटियों में लीजिए। इसलिए तो आशीर्वाद सिलेक्ट को कहते हैं गेहूं का सरताज।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
So the bowling card so far for India. Yudhajit and Chetan started off really well. Chormalay's economy. Beautiful 2 maidens in that in the 4 overs that he's bowled. Definitely calling for a good pick for himself.
Yes, and but I think the Yudhajit got the ball rolling. He didn't pick up a wicket, but he was very tight, very sharp with his new ball spell. The ball was not seaming and swinging too much today. It was a much flatter pitch. As I said earlier, that this has got less juice in it. Both the teams read it well. And I think that actually works in favour of Sri Lankan kind of attack. Now we've got the non-regular bowlers on. Ayush bowled well in the last game against UAE also. So this is good to see that India has got a lot of bowling options.
Well, that's right. In fact, picked up the player of the match for his all-round performance. Ayush Matre batted well, bowled, picked up a wicket.
Yeah, with the left-handers on, I would have thought that this was a very pragmatic choice to bring him on. Sairaj Bhautale, ever so clever. And he's been there, done it, got the t-shirt, knows exactly what's happening. And I interviewed Karthikeya KP in the morning. And I said, do you consider yourself as a batting all-rounder? I said, yes, because my bowling is coming on because of Sairaj. Because he has taught me to bowl that googly, which has come in very handy for him. We'll be seeing him soon. As soon as the right-handers come, you'll see Karthikeya bowl.
They need to break this partnership. And I reckon the offie would have a couple of plans, but not with that kind of support. A little casual on that occasion. Does this happen when the process is going on? You know that there are not too many runs. Do the fielders just take it slightly easy, Atul?
Not really. I think that just when you're feeling on the square, and sometimes those bowling marks and the popping creases, there tend to be a lot of indentations. And whenever you shift from pitch to pitch, there is a kind of a invisible line, but there is a definitely shift in the gradient, and that's probably hampered there.
And nudging and pushing, getting those singles coming in. Partnership of 37. That's the end of the over. A quiet over, and the umpires will call for drinks.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
मेरा बैंक जो है ना वो 0 चार्ज करता है। जीरो चार्जेस? ये तो हम सबको नहीं मिलता है। नहीं मिलते थे ब्रो, डिस्को के जमाने में। तो मेरा बैंक जो है ना सारे सेविंग्स अकाउंट सर्विसेज पर 0 चार्ज करता है। IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक में अकाउंट होगा तो मोर मिलेगा। हाँ, ये किधर से मारा तूने? आपकी अलमारी से।
अर्ज किया है, न सोने की अंगूठी न सोने का हार, हमें तो है बस सोने जैसे गेहूं शरबती से प्यार। इसलिए तो आशीर्वाद सिलेक्ट को कहते हैं गेहूं का सरताज।
जहां भी जाओगे पर जब लौट के आओगे, सुकून जिंदगी का इसी दरवाजे पर पाओगे। हम हैं गोदरेज लॉक्स, घर के अंदर या बाहर रहो बेफिक्र। गोदरेज लॉक्स।
When you hit what? Got it,
चाइनीज पर अपने स्टाइल से, वैसे जैसे वॉक टॉक के नए इंस्टेंट नूडल्स, 5 डिफरेंट फ्लेवर्स पर अपने स्टाइल से। वॉक टॉक, टेस्टी चाइनीज, यस प्लीज।
जो मैं से वो सुन के आप प्लीज घबराइएगा मत। ये जो लड़का आपके घर पे रह रहा है वो एक मिलिटेंट है।
कुछ बड़ा करने का वक्त आ गया है।
ये पीस कॉन्फ्रेंस हमारे टेन्योर का मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इवेंट होने वाला है।
तेरे चक्कर में साला हाथ से निकल गया। वो कभी भी कुछ भी कर सकता है। क्या तेरे पे?
फरीद मीर, तुझे नहीं पता तू किससे और कहां पंगा ले रहा है?
So drinks done. It is almost like a reset of sorts. But the reset was induced early on as 3 quick wickets fell in the Sri Lankan innings. Beautiful deliveries coming in from Chetan Sharma. Back-to-back balls, back-to-back wickets. But after that, a very stable, sensible partnership, Atul.
Well, yeah, that was the need of the hour because they had to pull down the shutters. Scoring doesn't matter. 46 for 3 in 17 means that they are scoring at the rate of 2.71 runs per over. But in the bigger picture, in the macro picture, it doesn't really matter. You have to last. And it's like I said in the last game, you know, like if test match is a marathon, T10 is 100 meters, T20 is 200 meters, then this 50-over game is like a steeplechase, 10,000 meters.
I remember that conversation we had, Atul. 10,000 meters and you add the steeplechase. So there's a little extra challenge that you're adding in.
Extra challenge. You lost 3 wickets. Now what do? You have to last for the 10,000 meters. You need to keep your second wind because when the last power plays come in, you need to have some batsmen, some batters in the middle who are well set to encash that one extra fielder inside. You have to make sure that you have that potency in batting. So you got to last. But then you can't just sit back and wait also. And that is a steeplechase. You've got to keep on scoring at least to be in the hunt. Don't leave it too much to do for the tail enders or the later batter.
Chormale coming from the pavilion end. Very handy bowler, Chormale.
Yeah, but I think that, the dictum is that when the left-handers come into bowl, you bring on the off-spinners. It's such a, I think it's a bit of a cliche also these days. Because the kind of range of shots all these batsmen possess in these times, I don't feel that it's such a disadvantage that when a right-hand batsman is bowling, bring on the left-arm spinner. It's not turning as much, so, you know, this turn in your mind is a figment of your imagination rather than what is actually happening in the middle.
You spoke about cliches, but then there is another cliche, that is the left-handed spinner coming against the left-arm batter.
Well, you know, the cliches also have to be followed because one cliche is that we saw the first run out, we'll probably show you again, that you run on the batsman's call. And the call is that when Pulindu hit the ball, Pulindu was watching, he was ball watching. We'll show you that. This is the one. Look, this is his call. But the non-striker didn't follow up. Sold him down the river. So there you go. So this is a cliche. Just follow the partner's call. And he did not.
Some age-old ideas, concepts, adage that have been there and swept and swept beautifully. A boundary will come through. He's breaking the shackles there. And 50 up for Sri Lanka. End of the over. Sri Lanka 52 after 18.
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है? तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है? तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
जब सेविंग्स अकाउंट पे हर महीने इंटरेस्ट मिले तो इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें कर लेनी चाहिए।
हर महीने इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता, वो तो 3 महीने में एक ही बार मिलता है।
अरे भाई साहब, मिलता था आपके ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट जमाने में, और अब
We're talking about the cliches of this game, but we'll come to that after we watch this beautiful sweep shot.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a cliche also in cricket: when in doubt, just sweep.
Wow, subcontinent batters and the love for sweep against the spinners.
But it used to be true till a point when there was no DRS also. Now you do it to your own peril. Because pitching in line, hitting in line, you're gone.
Well, yeah. Ayush Matre.
Good cricket. You know, you have just scored a boundary 3 balls ago, and now you're rotating a strike. So now the run rate is inching towards the 3-run mark, and it's going to bother the Indians. They know that those scuff marks we've shown you a few times are there. They're going to get more prominent as the match progresses, and this partnership is already worth 46. And this is a sign of worry. Oh, there you go again. Yes. No. Sorry, thank you.
What he mentioned over here, after the boundary, they've taken singles. Again, looking to take that single. Yes, halfway through realized that the fielder was already there. Sent back. Well done there. Good slide. But a boundary followed by a single. Even that's a cliche, isn't it, Atul?
Well, you know, but very well bowled by Ayush, because he's not a regular bowler. But look at the control. He's not giving loose balls. He hasn't got that bite or that guile of Chor Male. But look at that. Oh, wonderful. And if you can field like that on your own bowling, you make life difficult for the batsman. End of the 19th over is 54 for 3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ। कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
अरे आई हैव टू लीव, बैंक में एक छोटा सा काम है।
अरे भाई साहब, आजकल छोटे छोटे काम के लिए बैंक कौन जाता है?
मैं। You have any problem?
मुझे नहीं, आपको बार बार बैंक जाना पड़ता है ना। अब हम जहाँ, बैंक वहाँ। IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक होगा
तो मोर मिलेगा।
Not out, albeit in the middle. Maruf has picked up 2 wickets already in 5 overs. So that's a keen contest there also. No team is giving an inch, which is good to see. And these youngsters, if they can learn to just fight and commit themselves and just last the distance, take it deep, it augurs for a very bright future. For us also we will be watching these few of them in the senior colours in few years. Now Karthik is back. So the leggy comes on. He's also a part-time bowler. He considers himself a middle-order. He's got the turn. He's got a lovely loop. Very good action. And he's attributing his googlies to Sairaj Bhadule's coaching. Look at that. Nice. And he's got a bit of drift going. This is good. Because if the pitch is not very accommodating, encouraging, then if you got, just that dip. And the leggies with that extra revs they put on, always they've got a tendency to get a bit of drift.
Well, when you got a coach like Sairaj himself, who's a master of guile, definitely, I mean, rather, if you don't pick up a few things from him, then it's your bad.
Yeah, I think these guys are talented. So, and I'm sure that they've reached this spot in this junior team. And it's a big thing because, you know, there's so much competition in India. Every kid plays cricket. You can imagine a country of 1.4 billion. Oh, this was dangerous. Shooting from just middle and off. You tend to find a ball pitching outside off them to sweep. Even if you miss, you still got a chance to survive. But yes, so I think, so then the capacity or their potency or their in-depth, intrinsic mindset is such that they are tuned to imbibing and learning and, just absorbing things from people who can tell you. So I'm sure they learn a lot. And then they stay in NCA for a long, long time. And NCA is a wonderful kind of an atmosphere. because there are a lot of senior, junior players rehabilitating there, and the mix also just gets you in the right frame of mind, and you keep on picking little things, looking at bigger players who have already made it.
And India definitely has a lot of players that you can pick up from, learn from, idolize. And especially for these youngsters with so much exposure that's already available, you can easily reach out to some of the seniors and ask for help.
Yeah. And 50 partnership. What a comeback from Sri Lanka. This was needed. It's taken a decent bit of time, 97 deliveries, but the job was not to lose another wicket. There's still a lot of cricket left, almost 30 overs to go. Yes, end of 20 is 58 for 3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
And of Instagram, then Asian Cricket Council, that's her handle. Oh, darted this one in, too close to cut. Also the ball stayed a tad low on that occasion. Get a single.
Ayush Matre is still at it. So a total of 7 bowlers, 7 overs of off spin we have seen already. This is a nice stroke. Just trusting the pitch, playing on the rise. It was not pitched up, but they know that Ayush hasn't got that tweak to turn the ball. There's no slip. So they can take a little bit of freedom into playing these strokes. They have to. It's a one-day game, but you have to keep the score mode moving.
Just bringing the ball into the left-hander. Not giving them any room. Ayush Matre, favourite holiday destination London, all-time favourite cricketer Rohit Sharma, and he batted like Rohit with freedom.
The favourite sportsman is Djokovic. So a lot of these players, I've seen that they've got a favourite cricket player, but their favourite sportsman is from various fields. I saw Kobe Bryant being there, Djokovic being there, Nadal being there. And this is good actually. So you should, because if you follow all sports, you learn to actually pick up a lot more from other sports discipline and variables from the other sport as well. There you go. Holiday destination London. Well, that's pretty common.
He's a Mumbai boy. So big city boys end up loving bigger cities.
Not really.
What's your favorite holiday destination? You've traveled the world.
I've traveled all over the world, yes. But my favorite destinations are somewhere where nobody knows you.
Ooh. All right, last ball, a single, and that should be the over. 21 gone, 62 for 3.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Middle of the bat, but couldn't get the placement right. It's been tough work so far for Sri Lanka. Just hoping that Shanmuganathan bats through, as well as Lakvina Singh plays a cameo and try and get a decent scoring. But at the moment, India team is well in control. 63 for 3 in 21.1 overs. Just what the doctor ordered after we've been asked to field first. Raman, you must be really happy with the effort so far from India.
Absolutely, Farwez. No two ways about it. Karthikeya, KP, into his second over. There's an interesting story about Kartikeya KP. I remember I was in Shivamoga covering the final of the Kuch Behar Trophy. It's another domestic tournament that BCCI organizes for age group cricket. And Karnataka had made it to the final. Oh, the googly beauty. Beating the batter, Abhay Singh. I had no idea about that one. That would really please Sairaj Bautile. Well disguised. Now, Kartikeya KP was a part of that Karnataka side. Oh, this time around, uses his feet, comes down the track, does Abhay Singh. He's going to get 4.
I don't think the field at deep mid-wicket picked it up early. That was Yudhajit Guha, the fast bowler, was quite late to pick it up. But even though he had picked it up, I don't think he would have stopped it. There was a powerful stroke, another googly attempted by Kartikeya. Goes across the line. This is the braveness I spoke a little while earlier. Sometimes you just have to make that calculated risk move. Dot delivery to end the 22nd over, 68 for 3.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
Economy of under 4 runs in any format is very good. And he's a bowler who likes to keep things in control, varies the pace subtly. He'll have a bit of a challenge bowling against the two left-handers who have settled in well. And the field remains the same, just as Kartikeya was bowling. Suipakawa long on, mid-wicket, square leg at the 4 fielders patrolling the boundary. Short mid-wicket, short fine leg, short extra cover, short third man and mid-off in the circle. Starts with a single straight away.
I'll come back to that game I was talking about. I covered that final that I was talking about of the Kuch Behar Trophy earlier this year. Karnataka went on to win their first title in the Kuch Behar Trophy. They beat Mumbai in that final. And Kartikeya KP, Hardik Raj, who's bowling right now, and Samarth Nagaraj, who is not playing today, but a part of this India under-19 squad at the Asia Cup. All 3 of them were part of that Karnataka side. And I remember that game where Kartikeya KP got a 72 odd of 107 balls. And they piled on some 890 odd runs against Mumbai. Took a 510 run lead, did Karnataka, and therefore went on to win. Hardik Raj had 4 wickets in that game as well. Kartikeya KP got runs. You know, and there's one player I'd like to talk about. There was a guy called Prakhar Chaturvedi, a young kid who got 404 runs in that match. It was like a record. And Ayush Matre, well, part of the side for Mumbai, playing that final, got 145. So a lot of young kids who featured in that final, featuring in this under-19 squad, playing for India here. So good to see the progression.
Now this young Indian side looks very solid. They just had a bad start in the first game against Pakistan. But ever since they played the Japan game, they crushed aside UAE. Coming into this game, playing against unbeaten Sri Lankan side. But if you look at the experience what this young Indian side have, most of the players have played Ranji Trophy. So such exposure is massive for Sri Lankan under-19 players. It's mostly school cricket. 1 or 2 has played first class, but not greatly. But what they did beginning of somewhere close to October is to get this young side playing in the Mercantile tournament, which happens against the corporates, which is quite competitive. So they fielded a Sri Lankan under-19 side against corporate sides, which was a learning curve for these youngsters. That's probably, as a team, what they have played most competitively apart from this Asia Cup. So when it comes to preparation, yes, they were quite prepared, and then they had a month full of rain in Sri Lanka, especially in Colombo. The profession did halt, but if you ask me, the performance so far, I've been very happy. Whatever results comes today, it's been very, very good as far as I'm concerned. 73 for 3.
टिप चाहिए? पैसा लगाना है? तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है? तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Up top, the backbone of the batting lineup been easily dismissed away for the score of 8 runs, 3 wickets for 8 runs. Ever since then, these two left-handers have been putting up a very, very good partnership. A change in bowling. Spinners have been replaced with the bowler who bowled really well. Very impressive, Chetan Sharma.
Yes, he's back into the attack, picked up those 2 wickets. He's got a big role to play here. Can he break this partnership that seems to be taking on ominous proportions now? Well, at 65.
Just changing the pace of the game, India. Plenty of spin bowling in the middle overs. As you said, trying to break the partnership by introducing the fast bowler who have bowled really well and very successful. So this is where it can get a bit trickier for the Sri Lankan players. And they'll probably enjoy the pace on the ball. And certainly comparing pitch number 2 to pitch number 3, I feel pitch number 3 has held on itself really well. Batting becomes not that easy once the ball loses the hardness and the shine, but still it's a challenge. But compared to pitch number 2, pitch number 3 has been very consistent.
There are 2 things to talk about. You know, earlier we also showed you the surface and how the boot marks that the faster bowlers are creating seems to be creating a bit of a rough on the surface. Now, with Chetan Sharma bowling to the left-handers round the wicket, he's creating that boot mark, but that boot mark really won't come into effect for a left-handed batsman when a spinner's bowling, because that's going to be outside the left-hander's leg stump. If he were to be bowling over the wicket, that's played away. Now, if he comes over the wicket and he bowls to the left-hander, the rough that he'll end up creating is going to be the rough outside the left-hander's off stump from the other end when a spin bowler is bowling. So I just get a feeling here that he needs to change to over the wicket, then bowl round the wicket, if there's also a thought of creating the rough for the spinners.
To be honest, I don't think the bowler has thought that much, but a good valid point you're trying to make, Raman, definitely. But I just feel looking at the options of batting lineup of Sri Lanka, yet to come is a good stop. Very good stop. Could have been a couple of runs more. This has been the highlight of this inning so far. The fielding effort of the young Indian side. Just finishing up on the right-hand, left-hand combinations. Next in line, Kavi Jagamage is a right-hander. Number 8 is Vyas Theumika. It's an option when the fast bowler creates that rough outside the off stump for the right-hander. For the off spinner who's bowling from the far end, Chaumale can come up and use that rough as well. So that's an option. But in a one-day game, will the captain think in that side? I hardly doubt it, since they're just trying to get through the overs as quickly as possible, try and build the dot deliveries. But a valid point, Raman. Just on the right-handers follow through, what he does really well is his effort, but the second step, since he's not moving away with his follow through, that's where he gets in trouble, running down the danger zone. And when he's bowling round the wicket, naturally he has to run away. So most of the time he's fine bowling round the wicket. And something for the fast bowlers to work with is to bowling for the right-handers. Neatly played by Shanmuganathan outside the off stump. And easily picks up a couple of runs. 24 done, 77 for 3.
wicket-keeper batsman for this India under-19 side. That's the young boy, Harvansh.
Comes on the track. Oh, I thought the way he came out of the track, he was just want to pump it over, probably short mid-wicket, but it got too full to him. It would have been interesting to see if it was in his arc. Would he have taken that risk by going over long on mid-wicket?
Hardik Raj has shown time and time again, he's got the capability. A lot of times people talk about a matchup and say don't bring a left-arm spinner against a left-handed batsman. But he showed in that previous game as well, even against the UAE, that, you know, he's pretty capable. He likes that contest. He's got a good armour, can fox the left-handed batsman as well. So I think he'll relish this challenge.
Yeah, bowled really well against UAE. Oh, mix up. An easy couple of runs here. Probably the first mistake in the field for India, resulting in extra single being given away. Looks like the young man, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, at short square leg, said, yes, mine, 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 and goes. Good thing they left to each other. No collision. And after that, the young man has been moved across from short mid-wicket deep square leg.
He can hit the ball big and long. Vaibhav Suryavanshi was making the waves in that IPL auction just not too long ago. And got a half century in that previous match against the UAE. Oh, that's the ball I was talking about. He fancies it. Yama pushed through quicker. Shanmuganathan, very lucky he doesn't edge this.
Yeah, Shanmuganathan too fancies that stroke. He plays that late cut pretty well. The runs he has scored in Sharjah, the 100 and the 50. Lots of runs behind square. This is a good shot. Shot by Hardik Raj. Suryavanshi sprinting across. Valiant attempt, just not good enough. Good commitment, but a bad delivery resulting in a boundary with Shanmuganathan playing it very neatly.
Yes, bad ball. On the leg stump, in fact outside leg stump, and then turning away. It was tough for the fielder. Had a long chase. Vaibhav Suryavanshi put in a desperate dive as well, but he wasn't going to get to the ball. He was too far away. Well, he's very exciting as a batsman to watch. Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Now this is good batting. Boundary followed by a single. We are halfway through. 85 for 3. Halfway gone, another 150 deliveries more. Run a ball from here. We'll get to 235, which I think Sri Lanka will be very happy at a competitive score. But to do that, one of these batters has to go through till about the 48th over.
But this is a good partnership. 77, that's what it's worth. And looking back, I think this is a role that Shanmuganathan fancies. I remember 2 matches ago, you know, he's the glue that can hold the innings together for Sri Lanka. Doesn't mind batting with a strike rate of even 65, 70. He just wants to ensure that the team bats the full 50 overs. And if he stays there, gets 100 of 140 balls, he's okay with it. Because he knows that the batters at the other end can chip in with 35, 40 runs. And then you'll still get to about 250 and thereabouts in a 50 over game. And then you've got the spinners in the lineup for Sri Lanka.
Shanmuganathan, a product of St. Benedict's College, Kotahena. And he will be probably wanting to take the Sharjah pitch wherever he goes. He's batted so well. 62 of 99 against Nepal. And 102 of 132 deliveries in a match-winning cause against a very good Afghanistan bowling attack. So he'll hold the ace as a number 3, trying to bat through the 50 overs. And if he does that, I think Sri Lanka will still have a decent score to bowl at. And that will all depends on Lakvin Abhisingh as well. He's a player naturally aggressive, but he's changed his game according to the situation of the game. This 33 of 66, strike rate of 50 runs. Slower delivery by Chetan.
He's got 4 fielders in that 30-yard circle on the offside. He got 2 fielders at that point region. Point in cover, point in place. Fielder back at sweeper cover, almost like a deep extra cover. 1 fielder in the covers, 1 in mid-off. And a 3rd man back at the fence. So he's got a 6-3 field, 6 on the off. And the line of attack for Chetan has been around that off stump or outside off stump.
The one thing he cannot do to stray down the leg side. No fine leg, only the deep square leg fielder. And short square leg gets moved towards mid-wicket, and mid-on is quite straight. He cannot afford to put down the leg side, no way. And he prefers to bowl left-handers round the wicket, mainly because of the angle that he can create. And I like this feel. 2 cover points, 1 behind square, 1 in front. And 3rd man is quite square as well. Against Shanmuganathan, you want your square fielders to be very, very good. Because lots of runs, he takes it from there. As he plays it late, just like that. Slashing it, but just a single where Ayush Mhatre does the fielding.
This is the 2nd over of his 2nd spell for Chetan Sharma. He bowled 4 overs in his 1st spell. He's now into his 2nd over of his 2nd spell. So 6th overall. I wonder if the captain's going to give him 1 more over in this spell. And maybe at least hold 3 overs back for the back end of the innings. The final 10, where you may need 3 overs from him. So I think probably that could be the plan.
Dot delivery to end the over, 86 for 3.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
The leg spinner bowling from the far end. Looks like he's going to be changed as well. Part-time option of Ayush Mhatre will continue for India. Having mid-on in the circle. Mid-wicket, short extra cover, cover point and short 3rd man.
We just saw the Manhattan for Sri Lanka a little while ago, and I think the one good fact for Sri Lanka is that because of this partnership developing, it's worth 78. In the last 3-4 overs, runs have started to flow. They got an 8-run over a few overs ago. Those buildings are becoming more consistent for Sri Lanka, and I think that's a good sign for them.
What I've seen, that's a good fielding. Very good fielding. Yes, it was a knock-on for a single, but you got to applaud the effort at the car point field. It looks like Hardik Raj, the left-arm spinner, throwing himself, trying to save that single. Quite full, possibly not getting the length right there, Ayush Mhatre. Innovation. A bit of gap between the 2 fielders would have been a boundary. Just on the dot deliveries, Raman, something that I've picked up, not only in the Asia Cup, before in the previous tournaments I've been part of, the dot deliveries component is way too much. At the moment, 100 deliveries in just 26.4 overs. If you can't get a boundary, yes, it's a good delivery. Yes, it has to be a dot delivery, but try and make those singles every time. That's something that every team, not only Sri Lanka, every team can improve going into that World Cup coming up.
Couldn't agree more. It's worked away for a single. They go at 7 and over from here. They get to 250, and for that, these singles are just as important as the boundary hits. End of the over. 27 bowled. It's 90 for 3.
अरे I have to leave. बैंक में एक छोटा सा काम है.
अरे भाई साहब आजकल छोटे छोटे काम के लिए बैंक कौन जाता है?
मैं You have any problem?
मुझे नहीं, आपको बार बार बैंक जाना पड़ता है ना. अब हम जहाँ बैंक वहाँ. IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक होगा
तो मोर मिलेगा.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे. केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार. विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी.
225, 230 is a bare minimum as far as I'm concerned. Just a couple of overs from Chetan Sharma, replaced by the left-arm spinner. Hardik Raj was very impressive in the previous game against UAE. Bowled on the same pitch. Bowled his 10 overs. 28 for 2. This is a good shot. Coming down the track, using the long handle, and goes the distance. That's the second maximum of this innings, and both by Lakwin.
Well, Abhay Singh said, I've seen enough. Comes down the track, had the opportunity to free his arms. The full flourish of the blade sends it high and hands him into the stands for 6. It's a good shot. He's moved into the 40s with that. Remember, 2 sixes in the innings, and both have been struck by Lakwin Abhay Singh.
And almost clearing our 2 cameramen over there. They are in the firing line, never easy. We do the easy jobs, Raman. We just talk about the game. The hard work is done by all the cameramen around, the producer, director, to get this coverage right. But just on Lakwin Abhay Singh, that's his game. Naturally aggressive and doing the right thing. The first ball, trying to attack, middle of the bat, and goes a long way.
I think the spinner wouldn't mind that. I think he wouldn't mind the batter trying to show some aggressive intent. Keeps him in the hunt as well. Gives him an opportunity to outthink the batter. Shan Mugunathan, though, he's going to be batting in a different vein. He looks to accumulate his runs.
A productive area for Shan Mugunathan. Behind square in the offside. Couple of runs easily made in the end. Definitely in Shan Mugunathan's veins, there's right ice running. He's somebody who never feels pressure. He just likes to bat on, and make sure he gets the rest of the batters batting around him. And just what Sri Lanka need at the moment. A player with cool head and trying to bat long as possible. It changes the feel after that stroke. Vaibhav Suryavanshi was at short square leg, has moved across to short third man. And the line has to be outside the yaw stump. Cannot push anything straight when you have fine leg vacant as well. Beaten. And wide call by the umpire, Faisal Afridi. And that brings the 100 for Sri Lanka.
It's a good fight back by the Sri Lankan side. Yes, the wide call because he's bowling left arm over the wicket to the left-hander. The line was well outside off stump. No angle that the batter could have worked with as well to get to the ball. The 100 comes up on the board with that wide.
I already just see a 10 runs pace for over. A couple of dot deliveries. Sri Lanka will probably want a couple of more singles just to get 12 runs. Little things does go a long way. Good fielding. Very good fielding at short extra cover.
That's something that this Indian unit prides themselves with. That was Nikhil Kumar standing in the covers. He's a tall lad. Got to the ball quickly. Denied the batters a single.
2 is a call. No. Just happy with the single. And 28 overs done. 101 for 3.
अरे I have to leave. बैंक में एक छोटा सा काम है.
अरे भाई साहब आजकल छोटे छोटे काम के लिए बैंक कौन जाता है?
मैं You have any problem?
मुझे नहीं, आपको बार बार बैंक जाना पड़ता है ना. अब हम जहाँ बैंक वहाँ. IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक होगा
तो मोर मिलेगा.
A lot of work to do from here. Impressed with both Shanmuganathan and Lakvin Abesinghe. Very similar strike rates. 42 of 77, 42 of 71. Oh, that time. That is the wicket India was after. And clever bowling by Ayush Matre. The off spinner, he strikes. Shanmuganathan, the batter, has to walk back. He's done the hard work, but just couldn't get it over the finish line.
I get worried, Roshan, whenever you start to praise somebody, I feel something's going to happen. But you were right. Till that point, they had just taken Sri Lanka out of that abyss. They had put them in a very good position for the final flurry. But this guy is good knock, 42, just biding his time. He thought he's going to cut loose soon, but he's got to go. He's 101 for 4 now.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
We'll come to that. These now a more right-hand, left-hand combination. The question to you here is, knowing this surface, seeing that the ball is staying down a little bit, what do you think Sri Lanka should be aiming from here?
Well, I thought when they were 3 down for 8, that reaching 200 would be a huge, huge task. But these two players, Shanmuganathan and Abesinghe, had really, slowly turned the things around. And they'd done the hard bit. And now was the time to reap the fruit. But this wicket is again going to put them back in that position where if they lose another wicket here, then the 200 will be a difficult task. They need at least 250 if they think they're going to be having a good chance this game. This is how it is. Just yorking himself. But Ayush Matre has been very, very impressive for a part-time bowler. Look at his control. He's only given away 14 runs. And he's not even bowled a single delivery which has been outside. Just given any room or any width.
See, just looking at that wicket again. See, I feel it's the mindset, Atul. It's about a very defensive mindset. Just look at this. Just yorked himself. It was almost under his eyes.
Yeah, you're right. His eyes yorked himself. It was full, it was fast. This was close. I must say, this is deserving of a second look. A close one. Playing across the line is always dangerous. It's 29 overs gone. It's 102 for 4. We'll have a look at it when we come back.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
I think they did a lot of hard work. Oh, bowled, well bowled. Look at the feet movement. That's what you look at. That feet went nowhere. He played from the crease.
Well, Hardik Raj has got the ability to spin the ball on even a glass surface. You can see that he's got lovely action. His fit foot position. Look at that, the twist. Oh, dropped him. This was a big, big chance. Gamage has just come into bat, and this was a very loose shot. Just went too straight. He was not expecting it, Nikhil. In and out.
Yeah, how costly could this be? It was hit with a lot of power, but should have been taken. You'd expect such chances to be taken. Sharp chance, in and out. You spoke about Sri Lanka losing another wicket and where they would be, and very nearly that time. Just interesting to look at this left arm spinner's angle. Atul, I want to pick your brain on this. He goes very wide of the crease, so the chances of really turning it is not there because he goes wide and tends to try and float it back.
Look at it where his leading foot lands. You know, his right foot is so across that there is no other option except for him to just pivot and swivel. And when you do that, the body torque will give you that extra drift. And then if you slightly grip on the pitch, it's going to turn. Look at that.
See, what I would like to see, good running. What I would like to see, the modern spinners tend to kind of run in a little bit straighter, where you get the chance of using the crease a little bit more. Now, if you look at him, yeah, Atul.
See, there you go. Look at his right leg. And look at that. Because of putting the right foot across so much, he has to swivel and turn. And that pivot of the body will create that revs, and it gives you a feeling to the batsman that is going to come in. But as soon as you find a little grip and it pitches and turns, that's where you get the wickets. End of the over, 30 gone. It's 1-0, 3 for 4.
Right now, if you look at the little faces of Sri Lanka here, the first 10 overs, India all over them. Second phase, it's a more consolidation. Even the third phase, 45 for 1, you're going at little over 4 runs and over. But they haven't still had a chance of accelerating because they're still trying to build because wickets have been lost.
Huge opportunity going down, getting a new batter just who's come in. That makes sure that you get another guy who's tentative, who's under pressure. He's just got to come and start again. Abhisinghe has been there for a very long time. He's batted for 75 deliveries for his 42. Oh, good running. If you can't hit them, just hit them.
I hope he's all right. I hope he's all right. I think he was going round the wicket and Gamage was running to that end. So he was more focused on making sure that he got to his crease. But now all eyes will be on this young man, Lakwin Abhisinghe. He's done the hard work. Another look. Yeah, look how he's creasing the bat. And, oh, bang. That would have hurt.
He stopped a home run.
This is an innings that's slightly out of complexion as far as Lakwin Abhisinghe is concerned, because we have heard of him to be more of a quick scorer, more aggressive, but here, love the way he's looked to construct the innings. 43 of 76, that strike rate is under 60 at the moment.
Well, that would have served two purposes. Ayush is our leading batsman as well. So, good job. Nobody's hurt. But surprising you say that, Roshan. And who better than you to know what Abhisinghe is all about? His batting, the package. If he's a big shot player, and if he's played like this, that shows that he has got the capacity, and that is also a notch in his belt.
Yeah, that's what impresses me. If you look at Shanmuganathan, he's a different kind of player. He's someone who takes his time, Shahrukh Shanmuganathan. He constructs innings differently. But we've seen Lakwin Abhisinghe getting a quick half-century, taking the bowling on, playing some shots. Even here, when the opportunity permitted off that, I think off that free hit, he went for a 6.
That was a superb stroke. And then you wonder, because you must have got many deliveries like that, why didn't you do that every time? It's just the luxury knowing that you cannot be out. And this is what cricket is all about. This imaginative terror or horror that if I do this, this is going to happen. So sometimes what happens in your imagination is never there in reality. 31 gone is 108 for 4.
टिप चाहिए, पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, सेफ रहेगा और मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
That there are lots of people wanting to watch this game and not able to catch a glimpse of it on television. So best way is the YouTube and the Asian Cricket Council app.
Well, Roshni, you've said it, but you are now announcing it on live here. If they're not watching this, how will they know?
I'm expecting people watching, telling their friends. who want to catch a glimpse. You can be funny, aren't you, Atul?
Rather put it on your Instagram handle and Twitter. If you are so well invested into this, you can do much more.
Well, no, I'm telling you, I had somebody from Australia who was messaging me and asking me, how do I watch this? I said, go into the ACC app.
Go to Roshan Abasinge's app. Subscribe. Very nominal charges per month. And my bank details are in there.
Swung away on the leg side. At the moment, Sri Lanka not looking for boundaries, it's more singles. The last boundary has been 27 balls ago. So it tells you a story. Now, what about this man, Lakwin Abesinga? Athletes to admire, Harinder Ratwata.
Rugby player, eh? Pathum Nisanka. Wow. That's cool. So sometimes you can have your role models within your periphery, you know, and this is what happens when you see somebody who might not be that kind of a legend, but you see them up close when you're young. Then you tend to gravitate towards that. But favorite holiday destination, South Africa. Where in South Africa?
That's interesting. You should tell us. You're the most travelled man amongst us.
Pietermaritzburg.
There you are. Heard from the man himself.
But with a name like that, you cannot go wrong. Luck win. Luck and win.
And he's got a good surname. 112 for 4.
जब सेविंग्स अकाउंट पे हर महीने इंटरेस्ट मिले तो इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें कर लेनी चाहिए।
हर महीने इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता, वो तो 3 महीने में एक ही बार मिलता है।
अरे भाई साहब, मिलता था आपके ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट जमाने में। हमारा बैंक तो हर महीने देता है। IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक में अकाउंट होगा
तो और मिलेगा।
You know, warm up a bit.
Or was it a way of getting out of it, seeing himself on the screen, indicating he just pretended that he was doing a bit of a stretch?
Well, he doesn't know that he's on screen, and it's up to us how long he's going to be on screen. There you go. Giant screen. Sairaj, wave at us. Nice, orange. The future is bright, the future is orange.
Now he's looking to play a few shots. Gamage can use the long handle. He's someone who has the reputation. He just continues to trying to attract the attention, and there he goes.
Well, you know, ultimately they're still kids. They're under 19. Some of them are as young as 13, 14, 16. So I think the coach is not taking chances. He's reminding them, keep loose, stretch.
Yeah, even this young man, Kavij Gamage, from Kingswood College, and quite young, I think he's just 16, comes with a massive reputation. And what a platform for him.
Well, looking at his facial expressions, his frown, very similar to Sana Jayasurya's.
Well, I'll tell you what, every Sri Lankan growing up wants to be either a Sana Jayasuriya or a Sangakkara or a Mahela or a Vas or a Muralidharan. I mean, you just name it. They got a list. Lovely. 33 done, 114 for 4.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Glaringly, Seamers have only bowled 14 overs. And now, probably the ball has been skept up. And now we see Yudhajit coming back. That's a good point. That's what Sairaj Bhotule wanted. Just bring in a couple of overs. Let's see if they can prize out a wicket. If the ball grips a little bit, there's a little bit of reverse, which there often is. There's often reverse here because of the abrasiveness of the surface. And this one kept low, but it was bowled with an intent, with the fingers going over the top.
See, what I'm interested to look at is, will this bounce continue to sort of, dip and die, which means batting is not going to be easy. So that's what Sri Lanka should be remembering.
Well, this pitch is now Benjamin Button, so he'll be getting older, not in reversing.
You could see that this is clever bowling by young Yudhajit Guha. He's just looking to try and just bowl back of a length. He's angling it back into the right-hander. And no bounce at all.
So there was a catch that went down, but there's been some superb efforts in the field. Outfielding has been exceptional for India. And you can see that has put extra pressure. We already had a run out, but look at that. Nothing has gone past them. Look at that. That was a certain boundary. So they've saved about 15 runs already.
I think that's the key here when it comes to cricket today. I mean, there's so much emphasis on fitness and fielding. And you just can't hide anybody on the field anymore. You get exposed. That's how the game is played. In the years gone by, you'll have somebody at mid-on or somebody at third, but not anymore.
But there was a time when you needed to hide 2 or 3 players every team. And the best spots to hide them was, you mentioned them, mid-on and third man. In the boondocks, as they used to say.
Yeah, that used to be the case. But T20 cricket has just completely revolutionized it. The emphasis on fielding and fitness, coaches' focus has been different. That is interesting. Mid-off in the circle, he's bowling a slow delivery.
Well, he's got a sweeper cover. So, if the batsman was brave enough, he could have gone over the head of mid-off. But when when the pressure is on, you've already lost 4 wickets. You want to just consolidate more. The run rate has been brought up a little, 3.45 runs per over, which is not bad actually, because we have not seen very large scores, and even 250-ish score on this pitch can be a handful.
See, Sri Lanka seem to be more interested in wanting to bat out time. Maybe their next target is to try and negotiate up to the 40th over. Don't think they're even considering a run rate at the moment. They're looking for every possible single. They're not looking for those big hits. It's more like a question of looking to set themselves up for something maybe in the region of about 220, 230, if they can get there.
Yeah, it's more pragmatic. It's better. If it's a 12-round boxing match, just don't go out with the open guard, because one punch can flatten you. So just last the 12 rounds and just hope and pray that one of the judges is not sure. End of the over, it's 118 for 4.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी
with his off spin. Well, I don't think he should ever be called a part-timer. 52 Lakvin Abesing, a very fine innings of 84 balls, 2 fours and 2 sixes.
Like last game, then Sara kept them together with a brilliant 100. This game, it's been, I was thinking, but his job is not done yet. Come on, young lad, don't relax. Don't get complacent. There's a lot more you can do for the team. And you're right, 96, at least if you run a ball, you're looking at 220, which might not be enough, but at least something for the bowlers.
Yeah, Sri Lanka needs to set themselves achievable targets. So from here, with the pitch also a little bit slow and low, and with 4 wickets down, I don't think... Oh! Look at that! Look at that! That stayed down, that hardly bounced. It was pushed through quicker. See, this is the concern going forward. If you're a batter, you need to keep an eye on the bounce. He was completely done by it.
Well, a lot of consolations going to Nikhil because he dropped that catch. But this one, oh my God, this is a scooter. Just didn't bounce, just didn't land on the seam, just landed on the soft part, the leathery part, and just skidded through. And, well, a wonderful inning on the other side. Could have done a lot more with the bit of support from this young lad, Gamage. Goes for 10, is 119 for 5.
जब सेविंग्स अकाउंट पे हर महीने इंटरेस्ट मिले तो इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें कर लेनी चाहिए।
हर महीने इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता, वो तो 3 महीने में एक ही बार मिलता है।
अरे भाई साहब, मिलता था आपके ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट जमाने में। हमारा बैंक तो हर महीने देता है। IDFC फर्स्ट बैंक में अकाउंट होगा तो और मिलेगा।
We have decided on a united India that will look something like this.
धर्म के नाम पर लकीरें खींचने को हम तब से तैयार हो गए।
लड़ के लेंगे पाकिस्तान।
This plan is set into motion. पूरा हिंदुस्तान बिखर जाएगा।
देखिए फ्रीडम एट मिडनाइट सोनी लिव पर।
Look at him go. He's got some moves. What a fan.
लेकिन
क्या ये फैन बिजली बचाता है?
फोन से कंट्रोल होता है?
Check this fan, हर्षा। ये फैन बिजली का बिल बचाता है।
फोन से भी कंट्रोल होता है।
5-star rated smart fans with BLDC tech. Atomberg.
What a fan! केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो, मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
जहां भी जाओगे पर जब लौट के आओगे, सुकून जिंदगी का इसी दरवाजे पर पाओ।
India has got wickets, and they've got wickets at important times. Didn't allow that partnership to grow. 101 for 4, 119 for 5. Now the skipper's out there.
Well, he's also a sensitive player. I'm impressed by his temperament also. By bowling also. Vihas, oh, again scooted along and this time beat the wicketkeeper. They won't mind the 4 runs. They will take anything that comes their way.
Yeah, need to keep an eye on the bounce of the ball. That's the concern. I'm sure the Indian batters will be concerned about it. And that too, that was almost along the ground. It's hardly bouncing.
In India, we call this a surra. A zooter.
We call it a garandia in Sinhalese. A garandia is like a serpent, like a reptile that creeps along the ground. So you get a delivery like that, we say garandiek. People who understand Sinhalese will know what I'm talking about. More runs, more runs. Might be another boundary. Yes, it is. Welcome runs for Sri Lanka, back to back, both off the edge, but still very valuable.
Yes, Thamika on to a good start. One boundary through buys, and this one again just bouncing and going straight with the arm. And this is poor placement of field, I think. He should have known. He's too wide at the third man position. Should be finer.
Also, if you look at the leg side field, I mean, we're talking about 127 for 5. You would think India want to bowl Sri Lanka out, but I would have had a slip in. But instead, you're having 3 men on the mid-wicket boundary, leg side boundary. Now look at that, Atul.
That was Zuter, Surra. And that was the time when actually Lakshman was hoping that somebody stays along and he can just up the ante. But another wicket goes down. 127 for 5 after 35.
Last wicket, the manner in which it went down may worry the Indian batters, because the ball kept a tad low. And you got to take a look at this one again. Pushed through quicker by Ayush Matre. It didn't bounce as much as the batsman expected. Stayed really low and careened onto the stumps. And that was the end of Gamage's stay at the crease. Well, he'd be a little disappointed and perturbed. But I think the Indian batters are going to be more perturbed because they have to chase on this surface now. Down leg side, that'll be called a wide. Yudhajit has been brought back into the attack. I think India hoping to pick up the remaining 5 wickets quickly, because I get a feeling if that's the kind of bounce that you're going to see on this surface, then even 200 can be a challenging target for the Indian batters. I'm Raman Bhanot. Warm welcome to Neil Ojha in the commentary box.
Thank you so much, Raman. Very valid point that he made over there. Ball staying low. Concern, an immediate concern for the Sri Lankans, but a bigger concern for Indian batters will come in later, considering that whatever is added from here on, the Indians will have to score that to win this game, to make it to the finals. It is the big semi-finals, the iconic Sharjah Cricket Stadium. Beautiful setting.
Well fielded. Oh, superb stuff. This has been quality from the Indian fielding unit. We've seen it time and time again. That dive being put in, preventing runs. That was a great dive by Karthikeya KP.
Well, no doubts about it. Diving, staying low onto their left. And even better is the recovery after the fall. They get up instantly to be ready to throw the ball.
Some gun fielders in this India under-19 unit. Short ball. Didn't get hold of it, Abhay Singh. He likes to play shots. That's why there's a fielder who's been stationed at deep square as well. But that single brings up an important run. Abhay Singh is now moved up to 51. He's accumulated a half century today. Take a look.
He started off with a 6 of a free hit delivery. After that, stitch a beautiful partnership alongside Shahrujan, getting those runs consistently, singles, doubles. And finally, a well-made half century, 2 4s and 2 6s in it. And also what he does is he keeps constantly talking to his partner, which is, I reckon, critical when he's stitching a partnership.
Well, the captain, he's out there, he's on strike now. Tevmika. He's got a batting stance where he chooses to stay pretty low in the stance, and that may be helpful in case the ball's not rising enough. We saw it with the spinner bowling. Not when the faster bowlers in operation so far. That previous over from Ayush Mhatre, I think it's raised a few red flags in the batting unit.
Yeah, Aman would be wondering. Last ball of the over.
Hit in the air, just over that short cover fielder. Oh, Vaibhav Suryavanshi just looped over his outstretched palm. Single to end the over. It's 130 for 5.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
Hands of Suryavanshi at short cover just for that particular shot only. I think India have read the batting unit well of this Sri Lankan lineup, the strengths and weaknesses. Seem to have a game plan in place for each batter. But what a fantastic platform. You'll have to say that ACC has provided the kind of ground conditions that have been given. It's a lush green outfield here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. These youngsters playing the under-19 Men's Asia Cup here. All credit to ACC, finding a broadcaster, getting the games beamed live across the world. So, oh, this could be a run out. Wrong end. They chose the wrong end to throw at. Had that throw come at the striker's end, in fact, the Indians are still appealing for a run out. But I think they've got to refer it to the TV umpire. They've referred it to the TV umpire. Abhay Singh, they threw at his end. But I feel had the throw come at the non-striker's end, Thevmika was definitely in trouble.
You're right. Many a times when you are in the situation, you tend to just go with your instincts because there is generally a lot of chatter. Keepers and bowlers and the words are just thrown at you as a fielder. And then instinctively, wherever you want to put it, you will just throw it as a fielder. Oh, look at this. You're absolutely right. If the ball was thrown at the non-striker's end, there would have been a massive chance over here as well. Good throw, good collection. But then, is there a half chance?
I think a direct hit would have had his man. I think Abhay Singh was definitely in trouble if this was a direct hit. Because you see, when the ball's in the glove, that bat was on the line. And this is when the bails have been removed. It was a good throw right on top of the stumps. Yes, great throw. But by the time the keeper collected and whipped the bails off, the batter was in. You needed a direct hit to get that wicket.
Well, yeah, that little moment, that little fraction of a second where there is someone who's directing you on where to throw. The non-striker was literally shaking hands with the striker.
Look at this. Look at this. How far down the pitch was Thevmika, the non-striker.
And more often than not, if you get the call right, the ability to throw that ball right on top of the stumps was always there. Would have been a big, big chance to get the skipper. More runs coming up Sri Lanka's way. The running between the wickets since the morning has been a little iffy today.
Absolutely. The first wicket fell by way of a run out. That's in fact another opportunity that the Indians had. Now look at Thevmika, the non-striker. He's gone skipping down the track, almost parallel to the striker. And I think the Indian fielders are thinking they're going to throw at Abhay Singh's end. He's the set batter batting on 52. Probably wanted to get the set batter run out, which is why the throw came at the striker's end. End of the over. 37 bowled, 134 for 5. There you see it. This is probably the best seat in the house at the moment, apart from where we are seated in the commentary box, of course.
Well, yeah,